Hello everyone and welcome back. Last time we finished on this step when I assembled the front end and rear of the car, and now I need to assemble the stuff into the car. So it will stay something like this. But everything on the car, and I have a little bit of the packages, so that's the actually holders for the diff and brakes. This one is the servo arms and everything to connect the brakes and the motor. The motor mount and the clutch assembly. Electronical box. Fuel tank. And air filter. And that will be it with the kit. So let's go, and we need now this package with the brakes. I will start assembly with the brakes. So the brake pads, they are mounted to this post from both of the sides. This one is the brake post. Actually, the brake levers that are braking that are moving the pads, they mounted like this. Then this top plate, it should go over here. Yes, this way. So, assembly of all of this. First of all, I need to figure out where the front and the rear. So this one is the rear. And this one is the front. Post, so they should go like this. They're the same. So I could mount them like this. Then C-clips. They are mounting from this side. Maybe I'm mounting them incorrect, but that's the pillars that I'm usually using to mount them. Then this one, levers that are actually braking, so one from the top and one from the rear, from the bottom of this plate. So from the top should go to the rear brake, because here will be a diff located, and the gear, if to mount this one on the bottom, then the gear will not have the place. So it should be something like this, but I need the thread lock over there. I'll continue using mine bit better thread lock that I'm usually using for the cars, and I like this one more. So the second one goes from the bottom, like this, and also screwed with the set screw, and also thread lock. This one part should be like this. Then the brakes to the posts. One brake pad, second brake pad. Between them should be the small spring. So the screw goes over the brake pad, then the spring, then the second one brake pad. And on the both sides are the same. And they are mounted over here. Now tuning of the brake pads. With these screws, they are actually possible to tune how are they braking on the rotors. So the goal is that this distance between when I'm pressing both the pads against the rotor, The goal is to have the same distance over here and over here between the screw and the brake pad on both sides, and actually on the front and on the rear of the car. It's a little bit difficult to do that first time. Team Associated changed this plastic to some carbonized. It's actually very good, so they will live much longer. So these posts, you could measure the distance with whatever you want. I just know which distance there should be, which distance I'm usually tune. Okay, this should be good. Now I will do the same for the second one. Next step, I screw down this one to this post, so like this and like this. It's held actually with the 6 screws, so 2 small screws over here and then 4 bigger screws like this that are holding the differential in place. So the small screws, this 2. Then next part is the bottom posts and this one thing. So the air goes on the both sides like this from this side. They are holding the brake rotor from the bottom. That is not playing too much. Now I'm finally assembling the diff together. So these 2 posts goes from the bottom like this. Is there front and rear? I don't think so. They should be absolutely the same on the both sides. This one post has the front and rear, but bottom no. Then the brake rotors actually. I'm almost forget about them. Now it's the time for brake and throttle arms. Here they are. 2 of the same length as the braking arms, and 1 shorter is the throttle arm. The servo horn, and the tuning screws, and the spring. So I will start with the set screws, that they should go in these 3 things and this. Then from the another side, I need this spring. I need this small cup. And then this one thingy. But over here I will add the Loctite when I will finally tune the brakes on the car. So at the moment I'm just assembling it like this. So I was also tried to use like I'm using usually on my other cars, that these things are every against another, so that they are in different directions. But seems okay. I'll take a look. Maybe later on I will change them, change the positions there. But in general, the brakes assembly is like this. So this one goes over here, and then the set screw. Probably in the manual you'll find that you need to tighten this, so that you need to screw down these things, and first for the brakes, and then assemble everything to the car. But I'm usually doing like this, so I'm already have them on the car, and then screwing down this thing. Okay, I looked in the manual, and they said that I should place this one differently. But as far as I remember, if I'm placing it upside, so like this, and it's quite often that it's touching the gear, and then it's not looks nice anymore. But it seems like I have some clearance over there. Let's have a look how it all goes. So with this one, this one goes on the top of the servo arm, like this, and this one from the bottom. And then this longer screw with these shims. And the shims goes from the top of the screw, from over here, and then under the servo arm, like this. That's it with this part. Next thing I will do, I will actually start installing it to the body of the car. It's a time to start assembling the car, actually. I will start from the front. I'll stand first, like this, just to hold in place the steering post, because otherwise, if I will start from the middle or whatever, these things are just go away, because they are not holding with nothing. So the first one is the front of the car and the front assembly. It will stay like this. But last thing I will do with this one, I will screw down the steering arms. There is just 4 screws and a little bit of the Loctite. It's just easier for me to do that in front, and actually in manual it also says that it makes sense to do it in front. What happens to this Loctite? I'm always squeezing like half of the bottle. Okay, in the manual it says that I should use the middle hole over here, but I'm usually driving with the front one, so I will just use my setup over here, because it's not as easy as to access this one screws, so I don't want to redo them. I will go this way, this and this side. Okay, I'm already did a mistake. So this one arm should go on the right side of the car, and another one on the left. It's quite important, because it's easy to break these parts if they are assembled in the incorrect way with the rims, because they will just touch this thing. So it should go like this. And finally the front. First of all, I will apply a little bit of the grease over here again, just to make sure that dirt is not coming inside of the gearbox. I'm always do that. Just again carefully, and not to grease the places for the screws. Otherwise the screws will be damaged. The plastic will be damaged very soon. Just with few unscrewing. Just a little bit of the grease and this will be enough. And also I need to grease the gears. I'm using usually the lithium grease there. It's just the random manufacturer of the same lithium grease. It's white one. And a little bit on the gears. Again, you don't need very lot of this grease. Just that it's all over the gear. Just something like this. And now this one goes to the car. Finally, we will have the first big part installed on the car. It goes like this. First of all, these 4 screws. The short one from the back and the long one from the front. Before screwing down the long one, you need to install the front bumper. There's 2 in the kit, and they are with the different angle, as you can see. I like this one more. I'll install this one. And now the last one screw from the bottom is this one for this post. But before that I need the lock nut there. Now 2 screws from over here. They should be with the Loctite. They always try to unscrew. And actually during the driving it will be good to check them all the time, that they are not getting loose. And the steerings. There is also the screws from the bottom and the steering arm from the front, from the top, like this. Okay, that's it with the front. Now I will move to the back part of the car. Now let's do the back, the rear part. The same steps, the grease, then greasing the gear and then mounting to the car. So here it is, and now the middle diff. Okay, which bones are where? This one seems to be rear. It's a little bit shorter. It's weird for me because usually it was... Ah no, that's front one. Yeah, the longer is on the rear, as usual. And now 4 screws from the bottom. Next one thing, I will put the tank to the car. It stays over here. First of all, I need a little bit of the pre-assembly. This one stuff is for limiting a tank to some amount of the fuel, so sometimes you need it on the competitions to have the proper amount of the fuel in the tank. Then the tank itself. So Team Associated has this tank opener from the rubber in the last kits. It's super nice thing. Usually it was always some intermediate solutions like zip ties and so on and so on. And now in B4 and B4.1 they have this rubber thingy. It's really extremely nice to open the tank with this one. Then two tank posts, before them the rubber, and now these posts. They are both the same. I just don't remember on which direction this thing should be, but they are moving free on the tank, so they could be moved on the car itself. From the bottom there is a bigger screws, and from the top there is two screws like this with the big heads. And then these two things that are holding the pipes on the tank. Here it is, now mounting it to the car. So this one stays over here. I'll just align the posts. Okay, something like this. And then again, two screws from the bottom. That will be it for this video. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Next time I will finish the assembly of the car, will mount the engine and electronics.